On.
Okay, we're on. I was talking to you a little bit earlier about Capitol Hill, and how about when that car went down the hill?
Yeah.
And I was in it. You want to tell about that?
Yeah, I had a car parked out in front of the yard there, and the guy Steve and his kids, our neighbor there, they come out there and they got a monkeying around and used inside the car. And they got the car away from the curb and it went right on down over a side hill over at Capitol Hill in Salt Lake City. They went out to a vacant lot and it hit there's a kind of a cut there, and it went off that cut and hit that and bounced up all from there up on the other side and kept it going. As soon as it started, I went after it, and I was down there pretty quick as it was.
I know I bumped down in the bottom of it.
And you was in the bottom and never touched you.
And
Thank the Lord.
they said that I said, oh, my daddy caught me.
I don't remember what you said.
Because I was just little.
Well, I just about caught you because I was there just about which that was.
No. But didn't it go up on kind of a flat place, and then if it would have gone on, it was another embankment down there.
It was just all in a flat country there, but it had already gone through, the road cut through there. It went down, hit the road, bounced up, and went clear up on top, and it was going again. It just quit, run out of steam and quit out there.
Well, another thing I remember on Capitol Hill, too, is that I cut my knees to the bones in some
I should have
crock jars.
Yeah, you was inside of a crock jar, and
I kneeled down to get the soap, and it had a crack in it in the jar.
And it broke and
pushed out and cut my knees to the bone, both of them. And you rushed me to emergency.
Yeah.
And so I think that in my blessing it said that my life had been spared a few times, so when I look back, it was spared.
Well, that car deal, that was awful. That was.
I bet that was terrible.
You just can't believe how.
Look down there and see the car running away with your daughter in it. Okay, then we moved from Salt Lake to Riverton, out on a chicken ranch, and that was quite an experience, taking care of all those chickens.
2,000 chickens is all to take care of.
And I remember that it was my job to go and help clean out the chicken coops because I was little and could get way back underneath.
Get underneath some roofs.
Yeah, under the roofs.
They had to be cleaned out about once a week.
Yeah. And that's where I learned to be frightened of chickens or birds. I don't like birds to this day. Because one day, I couldn't find you guys. And so I thought maybe you was in the chicken coops. And so I went in there. And then I started going out, and I looked around, and all of these chickens all of a sudden started chasing after me.
Yeah.
And, oh, my word. And I used to dream about chickens
running
after me and getting me and pecking me long time after that. And to this day, I don't like birds or chickens much.
Oh, me don't. That was funny.
Oh. Let's see. You bought me some roller skates when I was out at that Riverton place too, and I thought that was great to roller skate around the sidewalks.
You bet.
That was a lot of fun.
You used to like to cut out pictures.
Oh, paper dolls.
Yeah, when we was on the road, you bought one of them a day.
I had a whole suitcase full of paper dolls, I remember. I still love to cut out things. I guess that's where I got it from. Well, and let's see, after we lived in Riverton, then we moved to the McIntosh farm. And that was a place that we did a lot of work cleaning that up and wallpapering and.
They didn't even have the wiring in it, no electric lights or nothing. Brown wired it for, oh my.
Yeah. I can remember when you wallpapered, you put up the wallpaper and then the next morning we got up and all the ceiling was all drooping down. We had to redo it all again.
Oh, I can't remember that.
That was, I thought, oh no. But I can remember some pretty patterns that we picked out for the bedrooms. And,
Yeah.
But we enjoyed that place. It had beautiful windows where we would have for our, it had a dining room, and we always ate out in the dining room.
Yeah.
The kitchen was too little to eat in.
It was real nice after you got it wired up.
And it had a fireplace. I thought that,
Yeah.
and we enjoyed that, a fire in the fireplace.
Yeah.
And, but you used to pick up greasewood stumps to get them out, so you...
Yeah, his place was just full of stumps. It was, hadn't been farm too long and all that. Hadn't picked them all up good.
Yeah.
It's all out through his hay, and when I'd cut the hay, I'd run into that stuff and mess up my more knives.
Yeah. But we used them one whole winter to burn because we didn't have coal.
Yeah, well, yeah. We used,
One winter.
well,
we
they had to
those.
get them up anyway.
Yeah.
So we just piled them
Might
up
as well
and
use
used
them.
And we had a whole big pile of them.
Then we had a potbelly stove there too
Yeah,
that we used to sit and Mom had kind of a bench that was against the wall, and we'd sit around
yeah.
on this bench and around the stove to keep warm, and you'd peel apples and
Yeah.
and give everybody a taste of apple before they went to bed.
We were up there one time having a party, and Carl Thibault and a bunch of that people were up there, and I was stuffing a stove, you know, trying to. It got so hot in there, I forgot, you know, I sort of on heat, and I forgot about that. And Carl said, Bill, have you got any more wood out there? It's kind of cold in here. It's so hot that you could hardly breathe.
Oh, also at this Macintosh place, I remember that when Lee and Grant had some girls over and they played cards on card tables in there, and they needed another one, and so I got to play. And oh boy, I thought that was really big to get to play with, with Lee and them. In this Macintosh place, you had a stove that had a water jacket in it.
Yeah.
And when that broke, then we got electric stove.
Yeah.
And also in that, we had a hand pump for water
Yeah.
that was inside the house.
My God.
It was a red pump.
That was a modern
pumped the water.
convenience, isn't it?
Yeah.
I just like the phone, you know.
And then we had to walk to school. We didn't have buses. Well, they didn't come right by our place. So, and they went a different route. So we had to walk clear from the Macintosh place to school. That was 2 or 3 miles down to Hinckley to go to school.
Yeah, you did.
And then from the Macintosh place, we bought that place on the river.
Yeah.
And that was a lovely home.
Yeah, it was. See, that was a retired doctor bought that and fixed it all up. He had it redecorated from one end to the other and all painted and everything, you know. And his wife wouldn't live in it. And so it was up for rent, so we rented it. And we rented about 2 or 3 years, and then she decided she wasn't going to live in Hinckley in that place, so I don't know, the 3 or 4 people wanted that place real bad. And so I just made a private deal with the doctor and told him that I'd give him $10,000 for all of his house and all the land that he had. And Layton Mission wanted, there's another little piece down there joining that, and Layton wanted that, so the two of us took him out. We borrowed the money, paid him in cash, and got the deed to the place.
That was a beautiful home.
Yeah.
It had a nice kitchen and a back porch, and
I informed the title Grant come, and when he come off from the service, and got married, he wanted a place to stay in, so I gave him a choice. You can either take this farm or take my one down below Hickney. And of course, he wanted the one bathroom and having the house and everything built, and so I had to build me another one and set it down in Hickney. And he took the one I had, and I turned it over to him for just what I had against it. And not what I get for it, but what the balance due all of us on it. He got that for a song.
it was nice. We had a lot of memories in that house, didn't we?
Yeah, you bet.
With
Sure
the-
did.
That's where I remember that you used to go up to the flume and get ice under the flume,
Yeah.
and you'd bring that down, and we'd use that to put in around the freezer and make homemade ice cream.
Yeah.
And the boys would do all the turning of the freezer, and it was my job to stand on the top of the freezer so it would pack the ice down, so that would work better, and also help take my turning the handle too. So
Oh, we had a lot of fun.
that was
Sure
neat.
did.
We had a lot of nice Christmases there too.
Yeah. we
I
did.
can remember when Lee was home from a furlough, when he was in the Navy, he was home one Christmas, and he went out and bought all kinds of Christmas ornaments to go on the tree.
Yeah.
And then, but I also remember that he took the tinsel and he says, "Oh, well, let's not take time to put this on, one at a time." He just took it and he threw it on the tree. I thought, oh, that looks horrible. So I took all the tinsel off and I put it all back on. Put it all back on the tree again because Mom didn't like that either. So but that was Lee. But Mom liked to fix a lot of beautiful dinners.
Oh, boy.
When Grant came home from the war, we had everybody up there for dinner.
Yeah, we sure did.
Just a lot of people to dinner. What else have we got here?
We visit on live?
Yeah, this is on live. I just thought we'd just ask Grandpa go back over some memories of different places we'd lived and some of the things that I remember about.
Well, that's great, yeah.
I thought it might be interesting, some of the...
Get all the stories we can.
Yeah. So we're talking about the house that was on the river now and some of the fond memories we had there growing up and the Christmases and farming. I remember when the boys went to war, we couldn't get any help, and so I had to help him. So he'd send me on the tractor up to Delta to the blacksmith shop, and I thought, oh, I wish I had been a boy. So I'd take an old hat and put on, and I'd stuff my hair up in so I'd look like a boy, and then I'd go up there, because it's all men up to the blacksmith shop, and I have to wait around to get...
I'd break an arm, born knife, and send her up on the tractor.
Yeah, so he could do other work at
And I'd be working on the
doing
farm.
something else, and I'd go up there and get the knife sharpened or whatever
Or
needed
she'd
to be
go
done, or
get it
welded, and
welded.
drive it back. But I wasn't very old,
And get a barrel of gas for me to the gas
and I'd
station.
drive that little old tractor. I didn't even drive a car or truck or anything, but I drove the tractor. And to stop it, I'd have to stand up and put all the weight on that brake to get it stopped. And my grandma about had a fit. She thought, oh, that was going to be the end of your daughter, driving that tractor. And we used that for a dairy course too, didn't we?
Yeah.
The tractor.
Yeah.
And that was kind of scary. We were always glad when the hay got up, because that dairy fork, if you didn't watch that, you could run that right into somebody, because it went on a big long pulley, and you had to wait for that derrick. It'd go over here on a load of hay, and then the fork go down into the hay, and then it pulls up, and you have to let it swing around to the stack, and then the one on top of the stack would wait for it to get just in place, and then he'd pull the ripcord, and then you'd have to wait for it to swing back around. But if the one that wasn't watching, doing the derrick, running that, you could run the pitchfork right into it. So that was my job.
That was your job.
Yeah, doing that.
I remember playing on the derrick for hours. Hours on end.
Oh boy. Well, on the horse too. If you didn't watch, that horse would step on your feet.
You know, that one time,
Yes.
I overloaded that mare, and she pulled out there, and the collar pulled so tight on her and choked her, and she
Yeah.
fell down.
Yeah. Oh, that was scary.
She got up and tore the derrick down and everything.
Oh, I don't think I was leading the horse that day, was
Yeah,
I?
you trying to, but she scared you. I said, well,
Yeah.
once she gets up, get a hold of her reins.
Yeah, but I was scared of it.
You scared her. Oh, that's all I know.
Well, another horse that we bought, one of those wild horses, you
Yeah.
had it broke. We was going to have it for a riding horse,
Yeah,
and you let me take it down to water,
yeah,
and then as I was coming back, I let the reins kind of get under its feet,
yeah,
and then I turned around and I saw what had happened, and I could just visualize this horse, because I knew it was afraid of the rope by its feet, remember?
yeah.
And so I visualized this horse just putting its feet up in the air and coming down on me, and so I just let go of the rope.
Yeah,
And it got under its feet, and it ran, it jumped, just jumped fences, barbed wire fences and everything, and we didn't find that horse for what, 3 weeks later or
Yeah.
something?
yeah.
I felt so bad. Oh dear. I never did like that horse. It didn't like
Well,
me either.
it's a little wild on the reins.
Yeah.
See, and I tamed it down. I used to take it down when I was irrigating, and I used to put the reins up on the horn of the saddle, and they'd follow me right across the ditches all around there.
Oh. Well, Lee could ride it too.
And
But I could just sit by it, and it'd be eating hay, and it'd try to bite me. So I don't think it liked me. I don't think it liked me very well.
yeah,
Oh.
they're wild animals, and they have to be tamed.
Yeah.
Oh, it takes a long time to tame them down.
That was kind of sad when you fell off from the wagon.
Yeah,
You want to tell about your broken ribs?
yeah. No,
Hey.
I never did say anything about it.
You can tell how it happened to you in the first place.
Yeah, well, what caused it, I had a wagon that had an awful heavy tongue, so I thought I'd get me something lighter for my horses, and so I got me a tree and cut it and put it in there for a tongue, and it wasn't stiff enough to turn the wheels, see?
Mhm.
So when I come in to turn, the horses turned around there, but the wheels was over here, they didn't move.
Mm.
And so and I sat right on the edge of the hay, and I got down, I just fell right down flat on the ground.
Oh.
I broke 3 ribs in front and pulled 2 loose from the backbone. 5 ribs went pop.
Oh,
And
boy.
so I went up to Doc Bird, and he
Taped you up.
bandaged them all up for me.
You put that tape all around you.
Yeah, and so, and then after he took the tape off, I said, well, Doc, I'm not well yet, and I don't feel good. And he said, well, come here, let me look at you. And so I opened my shirt and put his index finger down the back of my neck and went down the waist. Said, you got the flu. So I was over in his office, and so he wrote me a 9-foot prescription to take down to his drugstore on the corner. When I went out the door, I wadded up and threw it in the wastepaper basket and got in the corner of the dog Hyatt. In Provo, that same hour.
Yeah.
And so Doc saw me. He said, I started telling him something about my back. He said, oh, you can tell me other bodies. I said, I know all bodies. I just look at you.
Oh, golly.
And he set me up on his stool over me. I only had 8 vertebrae out of my back, is all.
Oh my gosh.
And it took him 6 weeks to put that back in.
Oh,
I
wow.
went to Provo twice a week for 6 weeks
Oh my gosh.
before I ever got that adjusted.
Yeah.
And it's never been out since.
Oh, wow. Oh my word, look at this.
Oh, boy!
Where do you get this good popcorn? Boy, that would taste
Right,
so
right,
good.
you. How do you make
Huh?
that? Oh.
Did Brent bring it to us?
No,
He didn't?
Mm-hmm.
Boy, that was good.
Donna Killian brought it.
That tastes like
Donna
microwave.
Killian. Wow,
Microwave.
that was really good. Come over, we're on the TV here. I'm trying to think up all the things I can about what happened in our life here.
Well, bring out as much of it you can.
Well, we're talking about the place we lived up on the river and all the experiences. He fell off the wagon and broke his ribs and had to sit up in a chair.
I can remember that.
Had to sit up in a chair. You couldn't even sleep at night.
That's right.
And you still had all of your hay and stuff to get in and,
21 days.
oh,
Well, I
wow.
could sit lie down.
And the high priest or something come and put up your hay that year for
the
you.
70s.
70s,
I
okay.
remember 70s corner.
Yeah, because you didn't have your hay in.
They come out and put my crop in for me.
Yeah.
That's all that.
That was very nice of them to do that. We used to bottle all kinds of fruit. Mom used to buy, what, 6 and 7
Oh, yeah.
bushels of peaches at a time.
I bought 14 bushels all the time.
And when we get home from school, I knew exactly what I had to do. Change my dress and help peel peaches. And how about when Mom traded a dog for some?
Yeah.
You tell about that.
You remember the first bicycle you ever owned, Mary?
No?
I'll never forget that. You had a pepper out on Salt Lake and you had to have a bicycle. So we didn't know if you'd buy one or not, but I looked it over and it's all in there. So we decided to buy it, $85. I remember outside, and you got on that bike and went off on the sidewalk right down to the gutter. I never will forget that. Oh boy. You had a long old paper route.
Oh, you mean my first bike?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
You had it.
I used to get at the top of the hill there in Salt Lake, and I'd never put on a brake or anything. I'd let that baby roll all the way down the hill. I'd just sail down.
I knew.
I
I
remember.
never saw anybody happy in my life she was. And of course it done good because she had a paper on it.
Yeah.
You know, that's all I could
Oh,
cover
Lord.
half a county.
We kept that paper out in the family for about 4 or 5 years.
That's what dad.
That's great.
I kept it, and then Dana carried it, and then we turned it over to Grant, and it didn't last very long. He stopped to play and laid the papers down. Somebody stole some of them,
Oh, boy.
and he got into trouble real quick on that paper route,
I remember going skiing with Grant
and that ended that.
Yeah.
down that hill. I was little and he says, well, get on the back of the skis and hold to the back of my legs. And then that's how we went skiing. I didn't
my
know any
God.
better.
Did he?
Yeah, I can remember doing that.
Oh, no.
Well, those skis we got, I worked out to get those skis. I got them from Martha Hinckley. I had to do so many days' work for on those skis.
Oh, boy.
That's how I got those skis. I used to carry those things up the top of Ensign Peak and then come down off from there
Oh, God.
on those skis, and then the lift part was the hard part, was walking back up. Now when I think that was the days before they didn't have any lifts in those days that I know of.
No, they didn't.
They had to hike down and hike back, boy. Or I mean, you skied down and hiked back.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, we talked a little bit about, they moved to Riverton, and we talked a little bit about moving to down on the McIntosh place, and then over on the river, how they used to make ice cream and have big dinners, and
Well, I remember when we used to make ice cream when we lived down in where I was born, in Grandpa's old place.
Yeah.
yeah,
When they
That's
built
why I
it.
had that was my headquarters for ice cream.
yeah.
We made her,
Dad had a nice ice pit there, and he had a shed there that he stored ice in. And
Oh boy.
he used to go down there in the 30-foot in the wintertime and get chunks of ice, haul them up there in a wagon and place them down in all that sawdust. And we had ice in there till way in the middle of August.
you know,
That's great.
And then we stored some up there by the 30-foot, didn't we, Dad?
yeah, yeah,
We cut it and stored some there, and then
yeah.
the rest of it he hauled downtown. But they used to steal it out of the 30-foot up there. A lot of guys that knew we had
Keep
ice.
it up there.
It wouldn't last long with that.
I thought it was kind of neat when you bought a home in Spanish Fork, and it was moved down to Hinckley.
Yeah. Well, that was the time when Grant wanted to buy my farm.
When he bought the house on the river.
I had to have a place to live, so I had them guys build it up there.
So you had some ground right back at Grandma
Yeah, a
proper,
lot of rock there.
and you made a foundation.
They come down and put that house right on it.
That was a pretty little house. Had nice windows
I
in the.
love that place.
It had such big windows in
Yeah.
the kitchen, and it was big enough so you could have a table in the kitchen, and the windows went clear to the floor nearly.
It was,
Mom had pretty curtains up to them. Pink
Mom
ruffly.
liked that house.
Yeah, she did. And
It
she
was
got to
dark.
pick out all the colors she wanted. She had pink in the.
well, I
in the
had,
kitchen
I
and-
had a professional painter do that before they were left.
That was beautiful.
I told them that I give them $300 to paint it or something like that. I said, go ahead and paint it.
Yeah.
So they put it
She
right
had
in
it
top.
fixed up really nice.
When we got home, Bella Mars was the first one over there. Come over there, peeking in there on going home to see what color the different rooms was, you know.
Because they wanted to do the church or something, and Mom said they copied what she'd done in there and put in the church.
Yeah.
But you fixed that all up till your lawn looked like it was manicured all the time.
Yeah.
Like you'd cut every blade separately.
Boy,
It was a beautiful green.
I spent a lot of time on that place.
And you had a
But
little
I both hands in.
garage out in the back, and you put sidewalk over to Grandma's and Grandma
Alright.
Cropper's, and
When I irrigated, all I do was open the head gate and that was it. Shut it down on so.
you had some little trees out in front, but you kept them trimmed so much that Mom said she didn't think they was ever going to have any leaves on them. But you had a bumper seed crop when we lived in that house
I had
down the
yeah,
farm west of Hinckley.
Yeah. Yeah, I had one or two pretty good crops down there.
I can remember you sent me to town to buy pop for everybody. You said, go get some pop for everybody here. Well, that was good, because that was the year I was gonna go to college, so it was a good thing you had a good crop.
You know,
And you had the first TV, colored TV in Hinckley of
Yeah.
anybody.
yeah, I did.
And that old antenna went up. How many feet was that antenna that you had on top of our house?
100 feet.
And one time when had a lightning, it hit that and it went down into your TV, made your TV smoke.
Yeah.
You thought maybe it was going to explode or something. So after that, when we'd have a lightning and thunder, why, we'd unplug the TV, didn't we?
Yeah. More than that in the day, shouldn't it?
Yeah.
Nellie's up. I heard somebody, maybe she's drunk.
What Henry couldn't believe is how you used to work at Todd Park. You'd drive up there weekends, or you'd drive up there during the week, and then drive clear back to Hinckley and farm during the weekends.
Yeah, I run the farm
And how long did you do that?
about 3 years.
Golly. And Mom worked in the lunchroom for how many years about?
Oh, she did 8 or 10 years.
She's the chief cook there, wasn't she? Head cook?
Yeah, she was a supervisor.
You had they went to a convention up in
Logan?
northern Utah, somewhere, Bear River,
Oh, uh-huh.
and they had to put
Turkey?
they had to put a lunch menu
Oh, uh-huh.
on the board, by these people, these supervisors.
Well, she could easily do
And,
that.
and she was the only one that could do it.
I wouldn't doubt it.
Yeah.
'Cause, the books she used to keep, figure out down to the ounce. She had to keep track of everything that she fed those. It had to be balanced, and then you had to keep track of everything that she used. Then keep track of how many cans was left out there in her storage. I mean, she had a lot of book work to do. And boy, she kept that right up to snuff. She kept that lunchroom as clean as she did her own home.
Right.
And she fixed that lunchroom up really nice. They would make cookies or extra things to sell, and they made curtains and painted it.
Yeah.
And she made cookies. The little kids said they'd go home and tell their folks that they got cookies up the lunchroom as big as their head. And she used to do big dinners for all the Lions Club. She cooked banquet dinners, and what a lot of work. I used to help her do some of those, and I don't know if they appreciated all that or not.
The domestic science teacher put on a banquet, and she took she cooked the turkey, for the banquet, and she couldn't tell when the turkey was done. Had to get Mother to come in there and tell her.
Yeah, she'd come and ask Mom when the turkey was done. We got a kick out of that.
And then the powers that be was going to show off to them to put on a big dinner. They put their turkeys to cook with the gizzards in them.
Oh, no. Oh, dear.
I was Bella Morris down there,
Uh-huh.
and Andy, and the illiterate club I called them.
Yeah. Grandpa Cropper didn't like that card playing either, did he?
No. You know, I remember when they come around looking for somebody to run the lunchroom as my and 2, 3 more. And so they went around to visit their places. And when they went off our place, just got through fixing the floors and stuff.
Uh-huh.
She had papers all over there, newspapers to walk on. This floor got dry, you know. And they went off to Bev Morris's place. They had a bunch of sheep there.
Oh.
And them lambs had been up on the steps and fiddled and done everything all over the steps, you know.
So I imagine Mom's house smelled pretty good.
One that guy opened the door and saw us. This is what we want.
He came down there with Ken, didn't he? Ken Robbins,
Yeah.
I think. Because Ken was the principal
Yeah.
of the high school.
Yeah, he was.
And I think he came down there with him,
Mhm.
with their superintendent.
The superintendent was in Fillmore.
Yeah, but he came over. He was the one that helped hire Mom. He came to,
I don't know who,
I thought it was.
well, no, the
Maybe it was.
super himself was somebody, he was with somebody, but I don't know who it
Oh.
was. It might have been Ken.
Yeah. Seemed to me like it was, but I don't know.
Well, how about I get rid of
We better take it away.
this off my shelf here?
I wanted you to have a snack. I didn't want you guys to go
I
hungry.
think they better shut this off. That's all we can think of for right now, isn't it?
Yeah, that's, no,
You can think of any more
Right.
things?
no.
How do you shut it off?
No,
We don't.
no. Have to keep going.
Well, better not.
You got a switch on the back there somehow.
Have you got a
I don't know. how to-
button there?
I've
Pat?
got, this TV thing, I don't know if it shuts it off that way